afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the first October edition of Topic Time with Harrison Young in 2020, October 1, unbelievable. You guys might remember a year ago on my 60th birthday, on the 3rd, we had an incredible musical guest. Well, I have two incredible musical guests tonight, and we're going to get to them in a couple of minutes, but I got to read these great underwriters first, and then we will proceed with the show per usual. So we got Auto Country, King of the Used Car in Abington. We got Cycle Pros in Bridgewater. We got Mrs. Swift's and More Antiques in East Bridgewater, and for that phone number, it can be determined when the ghost tours are going to be held and the paranormal visits that they have regularly in the fall. We got Lynch's Towing, Auto, Cycle, and Truck Center in Brockton. One number for towing, one number for auto, cycle, and truck projects. We got Zachary's Restaurant, Breakfast for Lunch in Stoughton. We got Dancer's Dream for all types of dance in Whitman. We got John's Greenhouses and Florist Shop in Brockton. We got Speedy Oil Change in Abington. We got Easton Fitness right here in Northeastern in the Village Shops. We got T Martini and Sun Floor Cover in Abington. No job is too big or too small. And we got MDI Auto Brokers and Repair in Whitman, home with the fully certified used car. And I want to thank you guys very much. Now, before I actually start the show tonight, I just want to pay a little tribute to the people of Easton. I've been here for 2 years now doing the show. Thank you all for your support. I know they play Topic Time quite a bit in Easton, and that's wonderful. And I also want to pay a little tribute to the people, a big tribute to the people at ECAT, the staff, Kim, Jason, Joe. They're all awesome people. Without them, I couldn't be doing what I'm doing. And so thank you all very much. And many more years of Topic Time to go, hopefully. So on that note, now that we've had that moment of a good remembrance, we're going to introduce these incredible guests. This is Jessica Hines Moore. Was it Jessica?
Jessica Hines is fine.
Jessica Hines, got it?
Got it.
And her partner in crime, Stephen Bailey Sr. Is that what Correct. You call yourself?
Yep.
And they both came down from the lovely state of Maine to perform on my show tonight. And we're going to talk to them and hear some wonderful music from them. I just happened to notice, you guys remember, fans of Saturday Night Live, what a resemblance to the beautiful Lorraine Newman of the younger years that Jessica has.
I will
Do you know who she is?
I have no idea. I'm going to have to Google her.
Lorraine Newman. She's
All
one of the prettiest actresses and comedians from the very first early years of Saturday Night Live, which began on October 11th, 1975, which of course was a Saturday, right? Obviously. But that having been said, now we want to find out about you guys. Now you came down here from Midland, Maine. Well, probably a little past it was a 4-hour trip, you said. So I'm guessing you're probably not quite near the Canadian border, but not that close to Boston either.
No, neither of those things. Yeah.
You're near Lewiston. Okay, yeah, I know Lewiston. I did like I said, I did a couple of Topic Time interviews at the Ramada up there. So you live in that area. So talk about. I want to find out. I'll start with you because I like to profile all my guests, finding out what they were like as kids, how they got to be where they're at, and then we'll go to you. But tell me about yourself, Jessica. Where did you grow up in Maine, and if there, were you a country farm girl, and how did you end up getting into music and talk about the band that you both are in, and then we'll talk to him, and then you guys can play some music. So go ahead.
So we actually live in Peru, Maine. And
okay. I love how they name foreign countries out in Maine.
It's right next to Mexico, actually.
Right
across the bridge.
There's a China, Maine, too, I know.
Mexico is where the Walmart is, so we have to cross over the bridge into Mexico to go to the Walmart.
Okay.
But I was raised in Peru.
Okay.
So I went back home eventually, and raised my babies there.
Well, wait a minute, back home from where? Where did you move? Did you move somewhere else?
Yeah, I tried, I did Florida for a little while.
Okay.
Because I have family there.
Okay.
And I lived in a neighboring town for a little while.
Okay.
And Peru's one of those places that a lot of people just, they leave for a little while and they tend to want to go back. It's very quiet living.
It's a very quiet town.
Yeah.
You go a little stir crazy, but you always want to return.
Right.
Because sometimes there's nothing better than being in the deadlocks of the woods. I get that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what in terms of like getting into the music life, how did that come to be for you?
Well, I was raised by my grandparents.
Okay.
And my grandfather was this adorable gambling man,
Okay.
And my grandmother was a serial crocheter so that she wouldn't become a serial killer. I think it was one of those two things, but they were great.
But I get you.
They were great people, and they were quirky, and our whole house was crocheted, and we sang lots of songs. So and I learned all kinds of really silly songs. And
were they original songs that they wrote?
No, they just had They just had silly songs. They just had
Like Miss
an
Collins,
array.
beep, beep, beep.
An array of silly songs and silly poems like, you can bite my foot in 3 joints higher. If that ain't my rump, then I'm a liar. You know, stuff like that.
All
Just
right.
like all of these like really silly little things that they were famous for. And
Okay.
music was really important to them. My grandmother was religious, and so, and I have family members who are religious, so I remember sitting around on our porch. I grew up in a trailer, a 62 Duke, but it had a porch.
Wow.
A porch attached to it,
Yeah.
and we sang gospel songs, you know,
Okay.
out on that porch with family members. And then, you know, I got older, and, you know, I put the fun back in dysfunction for a few years of my life, absolutely, and raised my own children.
Okay, cool.
And
How many do you have?
3,
3 children. Okay,
Yeah.
Are they adults?
they are adults.
And I
yeah.
wouldn't, and if you didn't tell me your actual age, I wouldn't have even believed that they might have been adults
I
yet.
really like you for that statement. That's a good
No, but
statement.
that's good. I mean, so are they into music too?
They are into music in their own ways, yes.
What are they
yeah.
like, in their 20s?
I have my oldest child is 30,
Okay,
and I have a 29-year-old
okay,
and a 25-year-old.
okay, so 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
Cool. Are they in the band that you guys are in too?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, that's fine. So now you're pretty much like you just love the rural life, and that's where you've been for the last many years, correct?
I love Peru. It's my home.
Okay.
It knows me. I know it. We love to travel. We've played in Germany.
Wow.
We've played in Massachusetts. We've played all around Maine. So I get my traveling bug, you know, answered a little bit through music. So, although not
when you
right
say
now
traveling,
with
like I'm just
COVID.
wondering, I'm almost picturing in my mind, you lived in a trailer. Do you ever take the trailer like out to you know, different places and do outdoor festivals? In the
I don't
trailer?
live in a trailer anymore. I live in a big
No, I know.
old,
I'm not saying you
big
do.
old
What I'm
farmhouse.
asking you is, because you lived in a trailer. I'm thinking maybe you like the caravan. You take your music out on the road in the caravan
Yeah.
and play it. You know, unpack your stuff in front of like a flea market or a fair or something, and just play your hearts out. Isn't that what
You
do?
know, we have not done that, but
Yeah.
that would be a really wonderful thing to do.
Of course it would. That's why I love giving a guest my ideas that could behoove them down the line.
Yeah. It's up here now.
Okay.
I
All
got
right.
it.
Let's talk to you a little bit, Steve. Tell me about your history and how, you know, where were you from originally, and how did you get where you're at now?
That's a really good question.
That's the only time we ask on topic time. So.
Yeah, I grew up in South Portland, Maine.
Gotcha.
Got
A
married
little more
early.
rural. I mean, a little more urban than where she grew up.
Yes.
Right.
Quite a bit.
Oh yeah, I know
And
it.
I raised 4 boys along the way,
Okay.
or tried to, and I think I got started in music. I got my heart broke by this girl, Stephanie,
Okay.
and
So a bad breakup is what inspired you.
yeah, so
Got
my brother helped me get a guitar, and I got the Neil Young Harvest album
Okay.
and learned most of that, and I just wanted to play songs really, and kind of got away from me a little bit. But,
Oh yeah. I mean, music. There's nothing more remedial than music.
yeah.
Okay. Well, but that having been said, when you two connected eventually, you must have been like on cloud 9, and that whole you wanted to play happy stuff only, correct? I mean, look at you two are an item, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me a little, I mean, without getting personal, I'm just curious if did that give you a 180 from your sorrow from the previous situation you were in? Or?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, good.
And so what Jess and I typically do is, because we don't play at home like people think we would.
Okay.
We have total separate musical avenues that we take, and
Interesting.
and what we do generally is fight like cats and dogs on the way to our shows.
Okay.
And the second we start playing music, it all goes away, and all that love comes back.
That's
and,
awesome. If it's any consolation, I don't see any claw marks on either of your faces when
Right.
you were on the road together for 4 hours.
Well,
He
on the
loves
way here.
fighting with me.
I
he
do.
loves it.
I do.
But at least
love
you
it.
save. At least you make sure you see it. At least you save it for when you're not driving. When you're driving, if you only do that if someone else was driving, Because
Oh,
it's
no,
much
no,
safer
no.
to
Oh, no,
fight
no.
a quarrel in a moving vehicle if someone else is
Oh,
driving.
I got no qualms about fighting while I'm driving.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
yeah,
I'm
I
glad
got-
you made it here. then.
Yeah, I got.
That
I'm
having
from,
been said.
I'm from Maine. You know, we
Oh, I know.
can do anything while we're driving. So
Okay.
because just isn't any traffic. It
And
isn't
we
like
spend a lot of time driving.
Yes, we do. You have to because we live in Peru. Everything's an hour away.
Yeah, I know parts of Maine. That's-
Yeah.
Well, listen, tell you what, why don't we, I get the sense you got some really, oops, all right, the mic thing dropped on the floor, but if there's a problem, she'll tell us. You brought some homemade equipment with you today, homemade guitar, homemade.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me a little about that, and then I'm going to ask you to perform something with what you have there. And you can tell me about what you have there because you told me that was a percussion instrument.
Yeah.
It looks kind of like an insulation catcher for a ceiling AC, but you tell me what it is.
Okay, well,
This guitar is made by Chuck Thornton. He's a world-renowned builder that lives about 20 minutes from me.
Okay.
And because
When we say builder, we builder of guitars. He just builds does he build houses or too?
no, he builds guitars.
Builds
He started
guitars,
out
yeah.
building basses, and then he got into guitars. And he, at one point when I first met him, things were kind of slow. He said he was taking on some repair work, so
Okay.
I started taking my. I have just a big pile of cheap gear, and I kept taking them over to his house.
Okay.
And he just got so fed up with working on my cheesy stuff, he eventually gave me this guitar and said, "You really should be playing a decent instrument," and it really is a decent instrument. And
Yeah, it sounded great when you were rehearsing with it.
yeah, I've since bought one off him too. So and then this amplifier. My last birthday, my friend Scott Lambert showed up at my house with it. He hand built it right on his kitchen table, and
Cool.
it's an old tweed circuit, and it just sounds great. You won't get the full value of the sound of it because I can't really crank it in here. I don't want to get that loud, but it's a tremendous little amp, and so. And a lot of our friends are like that. We have a lot of friends like that. Our circle of friends is just it's a beautiful thing. So.
Okay, great. That's awesome. You get the building spirit of the pioneer spirit of the building.
Yeah.
Of the music life. I get it. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
So Jess, tell me about what those are. Like,
so I'm not going to play this on the first song, but
you
these,
strike it.
they're washboards.
Oh, perfect. I get it. That's all I needed to know.
Your grandmother probably did laundry on these, right? And so mine are,
They're noisy, but I like it.
yeah, they're noisy. That's why I did this. This is new. I
Okay.
tried it this morning just to try to be a little softer. But my friend Lynn Ann Matthias Rollins
Okay.
is an artist, and so one day she showed up with a washboard that she had kind of pimped out a little bit. So
Okay.
this one, it depends on the mood. You know, you could play either side. This is my favorite one and has been really beaten up by
You
me.
get some pretty designs on them.
Yeah, she's really
I
talented.
guess she is.
And then this one has all kinds of good juju and is New Orleans themed.
Cool.
So we got the Mojo hand up here.
Strike it a second. I want to hear what it sounds.
All right, I'm gonna do this one because this one's my favorite, the one that I play
No,
all
but
the
can you
time.
just give it a strike? The New Orleans one.
The New Orleans one?
I want to hear what it sounds like. Can you just give it a strike?
Sure.
Look how ripped up it
Yeah,
is.
just one little strike for me. Oh, okay, very nice. That does sound like New Orleans, the Big Easy. Okay.
Yeah?
All right, great. Well, listen, tell you what, why don't you guys, you want to play an original number and then we'll resume the interview and
Yeah.
you play another one.
This one is so good. I mean, so new. We'll let you decide
That's
if
a
it's
Freudian slip.
Yeah.
Got a
This
title
one
there?
this one is so new. It does not even have a title yet.
It's okay.
Okay.
We'll title it Untitled.
All right. So. Good night, my sweet baby. I hope that you rest well and rise up in the daytime, fit to give it hell. Hope you feel with satisfaction until your chest truly beside to see. Oh, you alright, would be alright with me. I hope you walk those devils down to the place your soul lays bare. Let them be forever changed by the beauty they see there. Let them find redemption in your lion's roar of praise that would truly be a sight to see. Oh, you alright, would be alright with me. And in the longing of a velvet night, we live the love and loss you're tied to. Well, there's the heartbeat of a rhythm, though there's no one there beside you. May the rhythm bring you comfort and the memory of you that would be a sight to see. Oh, are you alright? Would be alright with me. Good night, my sweet baby. I hope that you rest well.
All right, that was awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, I call that, let me see if I can think of a title for that one. Make It Last, how about that?
Make it last?
Yeah.
Like make it last, like make it last, like like hold that note. Yeah, I like it.
Thanks, okay.
That
Yeah,
was
do
a
another
little-
one and then we'll talk about you.
That was a little bit of a poke, I
I
think.
think I poked you, yeah.
Tell you what, why don't you do one more song, then we'll talk about your band before we wrap the show up. And we'll
Okay.
talk about them, okay?
So we're gonna let Steve do the next song then. Is that okay?
You gonna what?
I'm gonna let Steve sing the next song. Is
Sure.
that okay? All right.
Yeah, by the way, you have a beautiful voice.
Thank you very much.
Wow, you really carry those notes.
Thank you.
Tough act to follow.
What's that?
That's a tough act to follow. I have
It
to
is.
sing after her every time
Well,
you
we'll
play,
have to, then
play
we'll
a show.
I give her a 10, so we'll see what we give you
gee.
for singing.
I got a 5 in it if it comes just a little bit below.
You
my
get a 10 on top of 10.
Wow. This one is also yet unnamed.
Okay, maybe I can help you with that. Go ahead.
There's another new one. Uh-huh. 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 slipping where you been slipping. Go ahead and keep dissing what you've been missing. And oh, by the way, did you hear about Bill? Won't make the next one, but his widow will. My love is deeper than the great divide. Wherever I show it, you'll run and hide. And oh, by the way, did you hear about Bill? Won't make the next one, but his widow will.
Oh man, you guys are amazing. I got Love Funk Blues, I'd call that one.
Love Funk Blues?
Love Funk Blues.
Love Funk Blues.
Because I don't think that one has a name yet either, does it?
That's great. You guys are so darn talented. It's amazing. The singing,
Harrison.
the strumming, the shishin, whatever they call that.
The sheeshing. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about your band now. What is it? Black Cat?
Black Cat Road.
Black Cat Road. Got it.
And we are on wicked hiatus right now because of COVID-19.
Yes, of course.
But we're hoping to be at it, as soon as they find what they need to find to keep us all safe.
Are they all from Maine?
They are all in Maine, but actually, so it's 5 people.
Yeah.
Steve and I, of course, but also we have Crank on drums.
Okay.
And he hails from like the Netherlands, went to some music conservatory there, right?
Cool.
Really talented man.
Yeah.
You'd be hard pressed to find a better drummer than Crank.
Cool.
His real name's Chris Hartug. We call him Crank for
You
whatever
must
reasons.
sound great with your shishin there.
He does, yeah.
He came hard at that. He was not like, yay, I get to play with a washboard player. Where you Crank? No, he has come to appreciate it, I
Well,
think.
the great thing is that you have such diversity, though.
Yes, yeah, and we have great relationships with our band. And then we have Kate Seavey,
Okay.
who lives in Maine now, but she's actually from Massachusetts.
Okay.
I think she grew up, spent a lot of years in Cambridge.
Okay.
And actually toured some with Shirley Lewis.
That's one of the local talent spots.
Yeah, and so and that's where she met her partner, who's our keyboard player, Don.
Oh.
And Don is a fantastic musician, plays bass, keyboard, percussion, runs our sound. He's our everything guy. But and he used to be
Yeah, it should be. He's a world-renowned juggler.
He was a famous juggler.
In another life.
He
Wow,
played
that's
in
incredible.
Cambridge in the park. Like, I think he was one of the first people to introduce arts to that park that they down in that area where they
Which
do a lot
area?
of street
Oh, you're
art.
talking about Faneuil Hall?
No, I don't think
You
so.
mean Boston?
Cambridge, yeah.
Near
Oh,
Cambridge.
Well, I mean, they do juggle. I mean, Faneuil Hall is in Boston, and Faneuil Hall is where a lot of people go, and street performers, including jugglers, including musicians, and the crowd goes. The people, the passers-by pay them. They drop change into their little bin or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, Cambridge has a lot of spots. As a baby, I lived in Cambridge 3 winters when my parents were going to college. And my father went to Harvard, my mother to Lesley. So, I mean, as I recall, there's a lot of talented people. There's a place called the Cantamp Lounge in Cambridge.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
there's
talks a lot about that.
what do you call it? The Paradise. I don't know if that's still there anymore, but there's a lot of very talented performers, people that go there to perform from there. I was even in a play in Cambridge back in 2015, produced by a guest that I had on the show, and I get paid pretty good. But so I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what part. Maybe Harvard Square possibly. Or,
Maybe.
That sounds
maybe
familiar.
that's it.
Yeah,
But
speaking
he
of
was
Harvard.
one of the first. And they traveled all around the world. Like they traveled, they did like, what are those, what is those called? The SO shows? The ones that you play for the military around
USO.
the world. USO.
USO, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really talented. I think they were even in a movie.
Well, if he
He's
wants
gonna
to come on the
love
show
that
and do some
talking.
juggling, we'll get him on as soon as this,
Yeah, you'd have to, yeah.
You'd have to twist his arm.
Well,
we can't
listen,
even,
I
we
just
can't
want
even
you-
get him to juggle
Yeah.
anymore.
Okay, well, he doesn't have to. I mean, if he drops something, then the show is flawed anyway. Well, listen, we're down to the under 5 minutes for the show. So what I want you guys to do is look at the camera, give shout, and you condense them, but give some shouts out to people up your way. They're going to see the show, including your bandmates, family members, your kids, whatever, and then we'll wrap it up. So go ahead.
All right, so let's give a shout out to all of our band members that we just spoke about, and our great friend Zena, who's our merch lady, who makes us all kinds of really cool stuff. Lou Gonzalez, who is like world renowned for his recording. He did our last CD. And what's the name of Lou's recording studio?
Lakeside, isn't it?
Lakeside.
Oh, Quad.
Quad Lakeside.
Quad Lakeside.
And also Davey Sturdivant, who did our first CD. And hopefully we'll have a next CD that will have these two songs that we just played for you on it.
You guys are amazing, I'm so glad that you made the trip down here. This show you rocked the house down tonight.
Thanks,
Oh,
thanks for having us.
So okay, now I hope you had fun with me.
I did.
Yes.
This was great.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I always just before we wrap the show up, what I always ask my guests are, I get 98% of my guests through Facebook, but I get the other 2% from word of mouth. So if you know anybody that that wants to, if you had a good time, share the show, recommend it to people that that I could get on down here or whatever, and if they want to do it, you draw 4 hours. If they're willing to it, I get people, like I said, from all over the country and the world as guests. It's a great start for everybody.
Well, we have plenty of talented friends, I'm sure, who will see
Okay,
this and
that's
take
all
you
I- that's
on
all I
that.
needed to
So-
hear.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, guys, you did a great job, both of you. Thanks for coming. We're going to wrap the show up. You ready to do it as we began it with the music?
Sure.
All right, folks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want Steve to dance a little bit more, though. I felt I was putting more into it than you are. So.
No, you weren't. Come on. You're gonna start. Don't set a bad precedent for the trip home. All right. Well, guys, thanks for watching Topic Time. More great episodes to follow. See you next time. Take care. Oh, there you go. Go ahead. Give it for it. See if you can combine it. I got a guest that have done this. Oh, yeah. Oh, beautiful. And that's it. Great job. All right.